Hi, I'm Marion from apieceofcraft.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite tags. So this is the tag that we're going to be making. It's real simple, so stick around. I'm going to show you right now. So first of all, you're going to take just a basic chipboard. This is real thin. It's similar to like a cereal box chipboard, so if you want you can cut apart a cereal box and recycle. I'm using actual chipboard that I bought because I want to keep it nude and I don't want to paste paper over it. The simple the better for me. So let's start off with our regular chipboard. We're going to go ahead and we're going to round off the corners. Now if I had patterned paper glue on here, I would insert this pattern facing up, and the reason is there's a press in there, and when you press like this, it'll make an impression on the other side of your paper sometimes if it's too thick, and it leaves like a shiny mark, and you don't want that. But in case that does happen, what you can do is you take a sanding board or a nail file and just rub it on there, and you'll get rid of that shine, just so you know. So we're gonna go ahead and trim those corners, and then I'm going to use one of my new favorite toys. It's a Heidi Swap mask, and this is the Damask Mini. So we're just going to go ahead and take that, and we're going to place it where we want it. That looks about right to me. And these masks are really neat because they're real sticky on the back, but the adhesive that's on the back isn't sticky enough to damage the paper, and you can take it off and reapply it. I've used this so many times. And then the next thing is we're going to use some ink to go over it. And I'm going to use, I'm not going to use the same colors that I used in the one that I showed you because this is going to be for another mini album I'm working on. I'm going to use a black. And this is from Rubber Stampede. And then I'm going to take just a regular makeup wedge because I want to give this a really soft blended look. And I'm going to just fold the makeup wedge over like this so that it's a little bit rounded. I'm going to dip it in my pad, and then I'm sort of just going to dab it on there because I want this to be a really soft, nicely blended look. Just keep on dabbing on there real nice and thin. And this makeup wedge works perfect for this kind of thing. And I don't want to go too dark with this because I'm going to make some journaling lines on here a little bit later. I think I'm going to make this black and pink because I've got this really cute mini album that I'm working on that's a black and pink color. I'll show it to you in just a sec. I'm going to go just a bit darker on this side because there's not going to be lines on that side. And I want this mask to show up really good. Okay, so now I've got that clouded where I want it. I'm going to take some pink ink, and this ink is from Rubber Stampede as well. These are my favorite inks because they're really, the pad inside are really close to the Tim Holtz Distressed ink, but I like this ink a little bit better because it blends really nice. Although I do use a lot of Tim Holtz Distressed ink. So I'm going to take the pink and I'm just going to go over the outside of this. And I want the pink to be a little bit darker, so I'm dabbing on my ink pad a little harder. And then as the ink starts to leave my makeup sponge, I work my way to the outside so that it blends evenly. And I'm just going to add some on the corners here and a little bit into the black. Okay, so now it's about time to take this mask off. So let's peel that mask back. See, it comes off so easily. I don't know how it works, but it works really well. And that's the picture that we've got so far. So we'll put this back in its original packaging. I always like to keep stuff in its original packaging. It stores easily. Okay, So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my lines, and I'm gonna use this stencil that I found at, I think at the 99-cent store or the Dollar Tree store or something. There's all kinds of lines on it. I'm gonna use this middle line, and I'm really just gonna be eyeballing it here. I'm gonna take a real nice inky pen, and I'm just gonna draw as straight lines as possible. And if they're not straight, it's really not a big deal because it's all handmade and I love mess ups, so it works for me. And how I'm determining how far apart I'm gonna make these lines is I'm just taking the top part of the stencil that I used and I'm lining it up with the first line so that they'll be this far apart. So just draw your lines all the way down. I'm going to do one more line and then I'm going to stop because I want to do some French handwriting at the bottom. Okay, so now I've got my lines drawn on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my French handwriting stamp and I'm going to use black ink again. And I'm just going to ink the top of my stamp because I'm not going to be using the whole stamp. I think that's good. And I always prefer the rubber stamps over the acrylic jelly stamps just because they hold ink a lot better and you don't get that stipple look like you do on the clear stamps. So now I'm just going to line this up. And I'm going to use my hand to press this because I don't want it to be a perfect stamp. I want it to look real grungy. So I just put my tag on there and now I'm going to press it down. And it's okay if it doesn't get some spots because that's the look that I'm going for. So now I've got a little bit of French handwriting there at the bottom. And now I'm gonna punch my holes. I'm gonna put this in the album. I think I'm gonna, actually, you know, I'm not gonna punch holes like I did on this one because the way this one fits into an album is it goes in there, let me see if I can find that album. It's going in the album like that, and the album opens that way. And I'm not using this for that kind of album. I'm just gonna make a regular tag. So now I need to poke a hole in the center of my tag. So let me grab my paper piercer. And I'm just gonna eyeball this too. Usually I'm pretty good at it. And I'm gonna put a good sized flower on this one, I think. So now I've got my hole. And now I'm going to pick out a pretty Prima flower. And the theme for the album that I'm making is pink, black, and white. So I need to find a cute flower for that. I think that's not what I want. I kind of like that pink. Let's see if there's anything else that's, I think this is maybe a better pink. Actually, I think I like the darker pink. So we're gonna go with that one. Simple enough. Now I'm gonna pick an eyelet that I'm gonna be using to hold it down. I think I'm gonna go with a big black one just to match and coordinate well. So I just poke this through my Prima flower and I put it through my tag. Okay, and there I go. I have my tag for my book. And let me just show you the book that I'm putting this in real quick. This is the mini album I made. It says Fun Rocks, and I'll probably stick that tag somewhere in there like that. Maybe I'll have it hanging out of the edge. I love having stuff that hangs out of the album itself. So there's the mini tag. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to visit us at apieceofcraft.com.